All right, hello Timmies, and welcome back to the Timmy Academy. We are going over a collection buy today that we picked up in Atlanta, Georgia. The fellow who was selling it did not wish to be on YouTube. So we are back in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we're just going to kind of go over what it is. There were some small issues with condition. The grading wasn't as minty as I hoped it would be. So we had a little bit of price negotiation on site when I was going through and auditing the collection. And we got a box of bulk, but it's got some value in there. For free, essentially, and then a little bit of discount because of some of the conditions. So, first thing we're going to go over is some graded cards. This is initially what we first started talking about and how the deal kind of started to get put together, and then he said he had some other stuff. We went over a bunch of pictures. And turns out there was a bunch of alpha and beta, a nice stack of pretty fresh unlimited, some of it a little played, a little bit of Arabian Nights, Legends, Antiquities in the Dark, and just some other random legacy stuff that'll probably get sold off. Of course, the plan is to keep the graded 93-94 and kind of go through the bulk, pull what value we can out of here, list that on TCGplayer, and list a lot of this stuff like right on top. You can see 4th edition Mana Vault, so that'll get put on TCGplayer, but you can also see a beta Keldon Warlord. So it's a really cool collection. There was also a bunch of these Gold Border World Championship cards, which don't have a ton of value, but some of them are worth a couple bucks here and there. Most of these are in moderately played condition, so it was just another kind of add-on instead of taking money away from the deal. Like a lot of people right now, the gentleman was furloughed, and so I tried to put as much money in his pocket as I possibly could. So yeah, let's go over and see. Alright, so we've got, let's see if we can get this focused a little bit. Okay, so we've got Gwendolyn DeCourcy 8.5, just beautiful. She's been spiking recently too. Bird Maiden 9. And I'm not huge into graded cards, but it's Alpha, Beta, Arabian Nights, great Legends. I'm working on full sets of Arabian Nights and Legends, so I needed some of these cards. Let's get focused here. So we've got a Cyclone, we've got a Repentant Blacksmith, 8.5, and these are all BGS too. Alpha Tsunami, I was pretty excited about that. It's only an 8, but it's still an Alpha. Script Sprites, some of the smaller stuff, and then 9 Transmute. This finishes my playset of Transmute. This is the only graded one I have. And then Beta Tsunami as well. So nothing crazy spicy. But the Transmute artifact, the Gwendolyn, and a few of the alphas, I was just really excited about it. And we got them for a pretty good deal. Not the craziest deal, nothing like 30 to 50% off, but I mean all stuff that's going to age well. So these will be going into my personal collection. Next up, we've got a stack of beta. And these are in pretty damn good condition. I mean, there was some condition issues, but for the most part, they're pretty fresh. Keldon Warlord, Grey Ogre, nothing crazy. Red Elemental Blast, Stream of Life, Many Tranquilities, Phantasmal to Psychic Venom, one of my favorites. Just reminds me of the 90s. A couple Water Elementals, which is cool. Creature Bonds, Spell Blast, COPs, Castle, Healing Salve. I must have, I don't know, 10 or 15 alpha beta healing salves. Regrets, and then a couple basic lands. I love alpha beta basic lands. They're just beautiful. And they're not near mint. None of these are really gradable. You can tell just by looking at the edges. You know, but you can see the surfaces are pretty nice. And there's no inking, no damage, nothing like that. So I was pretty excited about that. Let's see, what else do we have here? So this is some of the stuff that's just, you know, random stuff that's gonna get flipped and kind of lower my cost basis for the rest of the alpha and beta. Accumulated knowledge, there was a little condition issue here. These old foils are so tough, but you can see, I mean, straight up, you know, bent damage, water damage, you know, so there's not much value. This is HP damaged. I mean, it's still worth a couple bucks. But then we've got stuff like, getting into the alpha here. You know, original fetch lands, and it's minty fresh, like completely near mint. Alpha control magic, so this is my second one. This one is in really nice condition though. My first one's pretty beat up, kind of MP, hedging on HP. This one's super clean though. I mean, not gradable again, but really nice. And then we've got some more alpha beta, instill energy, bolts, which if you know me, I collect bolts, and I have a binder with over 100 of them. And then factories, of course, Winter Factory. I think the only one we're missing is the Summer. Alpha White Knight. Flying Men. Psychic Damage. A bunch of Legends stuff. Nothing crazy from Legends, but Strip Mine. Always a good one. Back to Alpha, Guardian Angel, Phantasmal Terrain, Clone. And then we're back into some stuff that's going to get flipped. It's going to get put on TCGplayer or uploaded on Facebook, that kind of stuff. Necropotence, Wasteland, Sneak Attack, Repercussion, Hunting Grounds. A lot of just like Commander staples, Carpet of Flowers, Rishton Port, and a little bit of P3K. Nothing crazy, but I mean, it's P3K. The print run is so low. Synapse Sliver, some foil, nothing crazy, Petrified Field, bunch of little stuff. So yeah, I mean, we'll sort this out. A lot of this will just go into binders and sit there for 10 years as I drink bourbon and flip through binders and just enjoy these cards. Now we've got some Arabian Nights. Again, nothing crazy with the Arabian Nights, but, you know, just good condition stuff. Wily Wolf, you know, Moorish Cavalry. A lot of stuff that I've got many copies of. But it's, you know, when they're $1, $2, $3 a piece, why not pick up a bunch of them? And it's pretty rare to come across collections that have a ton of alpha, beta, Arabian Nights in them. So when I come across them, I grab them. So we've got a couple of collector's editions. This one's international, and this one's collector's edition. So, you know the deal with these: gold border, gold backs, square corners. They're surprisingly in very nice condition. Let's see if I can focus in on these corners. You know, notoriously pointy corners. They get smashed up. It's hard to find these in near mint, and these are pretty darn close. No matched corners. The gold on the back is pretty well preserved. They usually rub off with oils and whatnot. This one's got a little ding here. You can probably see it. But besides that, I mean, Mount Modi Gin, black border. These will probably get flipped. I don't really keep them. They're just, I don't know, I'm just not into them. And then we've got some foils and some just random small legacy stuff. Foil Unearthed, which is kind of cool. Some slivers, Heartstone, Constant Mists, Volrath Shapeshifter, Awakening, Intruder Alarm, I mean Dream Halls, which is super cool, Grave Pack, Defense of the Heart, all the crop rotations. And all this stuff is pretty minty fresh. He apparently cracked open a box of Urza's Legacy not too long ago. Second chance. And kept it all really nice. Couple foils. You know, and Urza's block was the first block with foil. So anything that's foil that's minty fresh from this, from the Urza block is going to be worth a couple bucks. Usually I set them aside and, you know, I'll build a large binder of legacy foils, and then sometimes if somebody's interested in it, I'll get rid of it, but I kind of just pile it up until someone comes along and says, hey, you know, give me all your foils. It's happened once or twice, and, you know, take that and turn it into more alpha cards and Arabian Nights. So we've got the Man of All here. And then, I mean, back into alpha. This was the reason that I was very excited to pick up this collection. Again, he said they were minty and gradable, which they weren't, but they're still in pretty nice condition. Sinkhole, which is crazy for a common. You know, it's one of the best commons in ABU, and holds a pretty decent price tag even for a common alpha. Stream of Life, another control magic. Not as nice. Mons Goblin Raiders, Grey Ogre, Hill Giant, and then we've got some more minty. Well, now it's light played. More minty fresh Onslaught fetch lands. These sell quick and, you know, carry a pretty decent premium. Mana Echoes, Windswept, Reanimate. And then some more P3K, which I actually don't collect P3K or have any currently, but I know some folks who are trying to acquire full sets and whatnot, so I'll probably reach out to them and see if they want some. Bunch of smaller stuff: Mana Severance, Static Orb, Feldegriff. I know someone who collects these and literally has hundreds. I've seen pictures. It's crazy. Just all the purple hippos. So I might reach out to him and see if he wants this one. Winds of Change, you know, a bunch of just legacy stuff. Most of that will get flipped. What else we have? I mean, sleeves. Let's go into the Unlimited. So the Unlimited, a lot of it you can see just by looking at the sides. This is an easy way for if you're looking at Revisor Unlimited or any other white border. You can see how crispy a lot of it is, and then you can see where the oils are kind of in the middle here. And that's going to be, at first glance, are you looking at near mint? Are you looking at LP? that kind of deal. So right on top, of course, Sarah Angel, beautiful. Resurrection. There's nothing crazy in here. And when you're looking at unlimited, a lot of times you'll run into people who think they have unlimited, and it might be revised. I was pretty sure when we were discussing this collection that it was unlimited because, I'd seen pictures of the alpha, the beta, and, it's all that era. So I was pretty sure he knew what he was talking about. But that the easiest way to tell, one, the color is going to be more vibrant on unlimited. But also that beveled edge in between the white border and the card frame, that is my biggest tell for unlimited. Can't quite zoom in enough to see it here, but you can kind of see it on top. Let me see if I have a revised card real quick. Yeah, okay, so we've got a Rock Hydra. Revised is going to have a little more muted colors, and that line, that black line in between the white border and the card art, or the red border, is going to be just a flat black line. A lot of times you can see it very well on the bottom too. So revised is going to be the flat black line, and unlimited is going to be your bevel line. So that's a quick way to tell if you're buying a collection or selling a collection or new to these older cards. So a bunch of commons, nothing crazy. Cursed Land, that's kind of cool. Gloom. Nettling Imp, Dark Ritual, more lightning bolts for my collection, beautiful. Dark Ritual, iconic. Mana Flare, which is cool. Orcish Artillery. Nothing insane in here. Control Magic. Thicket Basilisk. Kind of cool. Ley Druid Wanderlust. Some artifacts. I don't know why, but I love unlimited artifacts. It doesn't matter what it is. Black Vice. And a couple basics. Nothing crazy, but they're all in very good condition, so I wanted them. The last two piles are really, we kind of looked at all the spicy stuff. The last two piles are Legends and Antiquities. So it does look like we have the last factory. And actually, when I was on the road picking up this collection, the one in Savannah, I got in the mail a few copies, a copy of Summer and Spring that were supposed to be super minty, but they were not. But the price point I paid, I'm still okay with it. So we've got a couple factories, Tron lands. Antiquities, just artifacts, right? It's all about the artifacts. Battering ram. And nothing too crazy in this pile either, but, reserve list, Antiquities, Weakstone. Didn't have that one yet. Gate to Phyrexia, awesome card. Just the art and something about Antiquities is one of my favorite sets. Drafner's Restoration. Here was another spot where we hit some condition issues. At first glance, it looks pretty good, but if you feel it, I could tell immediately it's completely water damaged. So this card is essentially worth nothing. So, when we were talking about price and whatnot, we were going off TCG low, which pretty much pulls from near mint and LP pricing, except with some of the alpha and beta. If there's no listed near mint or LP, it'll go down to, MP and Tatiana Song. It'll go down to the MP HP pricing, but for the most part, it's going to be pulling from near mint and LP. So if you run into something like that where you've got an HP damaged card, you can't really go off TCG low pricing. Damaged is going to be, I mean, it's a $10 card, so damage is going to be $1 maybe. But there weren't too many issues like that. Just the one foil and the draft nose were kind of the two biggest things. Everything else looks pretty good. Chain lightning, so now we're into legends. And again, nothing crazy from legends, just a lot of really nice condition random legends cards. A lot that I already have. Legends is a huge set though, and trying to build a full set, you just wind up picking up a bunch of stuff that you already have. I don't usually get rid of Kismet, that's pretty cool. I don't usually get rid of legends, but I do have some friends that are trying to put together full sets as well. So occasionally when I come across a pile of nice, nice condition near mint LP, I'll reach out to them and say, hey, send me a list of what you need. And if I've got duplicates of anything, I'll let them go to some friends. So that's the majority of the collection. That's where all the value was, mostly in the alpha, beta, and of course the winter factory and some of the other like heavy hitters and the graded cards. It's not like any one thing in this collection really made me want it. It's just the fact that there was a lot of alpha, a lot of beta, and a lot of 93, 94 cards that it's just kind of rare to come across a collection that has that much 93, 94, and that's mostly what it is. Then we've got some of these. I'm not even gonna